Once, a coworker told me about how impossible it was to work on nylon with his old 3D printer. The Bambulab community says that the A1 should not be used for printing with nylon. And Bambulab even warns about issues printing PA, ABS, and other high-temp filaments with the A1 on their product page. But what if I told you you don't need to upgrade to the P1S or the X1C to print nylon? How did we get here? Well, the long and short of the story is, while printing filaments for our HDPLA video, shameless plug if you haven't gone and watched it yet, you should, I thought it was a bright idea to have a nuclear representative in the 6 filament test that we had. So, my bright idea led me to printing some nylon. After a few nylon prints, my printer's extruder gears just had enough and stopped extruding, leaving me with a lovely clicking sound whenever I tried printing with anything harder than PLA. And thus comes our first upgrade that we need to print nylon with the A1. The BIQU Panda Claw. I chose to upgrade to the Panda Claw for the all-metal gear system. After learning more about the claw and nylon printing in general, it's not 100% required if your extruder gear isn't worn out like mine, but I figure if you plan on printing with these high abrasive materials such as nylon more frequently, it's probably worth the upgrade. Alright, before we continue, let's just make sure the extruder gears actually work though. And perfect! The bench is coming out great. While we wait for that to finish, let's talk about nylon and what makes it so hard to print. It really comes down to a handful of things. The relatively high printing temp required, warping that'll cause it to detach from the build plate, and very high moisture absorption. With the next few upgrades, we'll tackle each of these, starting with the Chitubox A1 Enclosure, the Creality Fume Extractor, and the Wyze Cam OG. To print with nylon, you don't really need the camera, obviously. The Fume Extractor and the Enclosure are 100% needed in some capacity. Not only does it contain the nasty fumes of printing nylon, ABS, TPU, and more, it also does a fantastic job of keeping the heat required to print nylon in, and stop drafts from coming and causing your nylon prints to peel off the bed. One thing I should note, I've seen people online say you need a cooling fan for your A1 if you choose to put it in an enclosure. I've been lucky and I haven't had any issues so far. I think it's because the Fume Extractor does most of the cooling for me, and cooling in quotations. But your mileage may vary. I'll post a link in the description to the fan and everything else I talk about this video that you should get if you want to add more active cooling if you're experiencing crashes / overheating on your A1 mainboard. Now that 2 of our 3 problems are checked off with printing nylon, our next upgrade is a high-temp filament dryer. I recommend the Sunlu S4 just because it's easy to use. It has different filament presets with a PA1 built in, and while we're all still waiting patiently for Bambulab to add support for the AMS2 Pro to the A1 series of printers, for now, this is a fantastic option. There's also some really cool mods you can do since it supports drying 4 spools at once. Subscribe if you want to see that in a later video. The last upgrade on the docket is the BIQU Panda Knomi and the Panda Branch. These two are really just extras, nice pluses. Definitely not required for printing nylon, but they are useful upgrades nonetheless. For the Panda Knomi, install the screen into its housing, run the cable, install the Knomi, join the Wi-Fi network, set a password for said network, and you're off to the races, being able to customize the screen to your heart's content. The Panda Branch just makes your life easier. It gives you 4 extra AMS ports. 1 is specifically used for power and data for the AMS Lite. The rest are just power. There are also USB power ports as well to power your external peripherals that you may need. Okay, now that we have our upgrades in place, it's finally time to start printing nylon. Something you need to do in advance before you even consider printing nylon is you need to dry it. Wet nylon will lead to constant print failures. Additionally, when you get closer to the time of, going to print nylon, there are 2 things I recommend doing at least 30 minutes in advance. 1. Glue on the bed. We need to help the A1 as much as we can. 2. Heat soak the nozzle and the bed, and thus the enclosure, for at least the whole 30 minutes. Now, while you're waiting for it to heat soak, load your model into your slicer and change these settings. Feel free to copy what I have here. These are the settings that I use to get the results you will see in a second. Now that you've heat soaked and corrected all your settings in your slicer, the next thing to do is feed your filament to the A1. The best way to do this with the Sunlu dryer is to take one of the included PTFE tubes and run it through the zipper on the side of the Chitubox enclosure. You want to be very careful to avoid any sudden or sharp turns in the filament path, since nylon can also be very brittle to work with. Run your filament into the AMS hub, not the AMS, then set the filament preset to Bambulab A1 generic preset on your A1.
And here we go.
And look at that! A successful nylon 3D print after performing some major upgrade. The quality is amazing as well. Now your A1 is ready for engineering grade material. If you like this video, please leave a like. Comment down below if there's anything I can do to improve the videos. Also let me know if I got anything wrong. I'm still learning and trying things out, so I wouldn't be surprised if I missed something. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to stick around and watch this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day.